In 2008, the Maryland Developmental Disabilities Administration embarked on a journey to transform its system of services to become person-directed, to align its services and resources with the personal dreams, visions, goals, and needs of the individuals and families they serve and support.
We're really getting there. One is that we want to be able to look back on the lives of people and be able to prove that they're living lives that they choose, that there's a richness in their life because people are listening to them and helping to make that happen. That's so very important, but I think the really...
For each individual, there's a focus on the engagement and development of a personal support network of family, friends, and allies, identifying personal visions, dreams, and goals, the pursuit of a place I can call home, including possibilities of home ownership, and control of resources, including budgets and staffing.
A few weeks ago, I was living in a group home with other individuals that I couldn't communicate with like I wanted to, and I didn't have enough freedom that I wanted. But like now, I have all the things, and like I'm so close to my friends and family, they are willing to come over, whereas than before I was too far for them to come and visit. And I plan to.
Tiffany was great to be doing this with from the beginning. We kind of, a lot of times didn't know what we were doing, and she just tugged along and pushed me along, basically with a lot of enthusiasm and really helpful ideas and other ways of doing things. You know, when I'd be lost and confused, she'd say, well, you know, we could do it this another way, or...
It's fine with me. As long as I can choose who I want to be around, I'm okay. The best part about living here is just being more independent and being on your own and being able to do things safely and comfortably whenever you want to do them.
The motivation just was to see Tiffany in a better living situation, happier, getting the opportunity to live her life the way she wants it. And that, you know, just that possibility and that dream to happen is wonderful. And to see her now, you know, so happy, you could see a difference. Her ability
wanting to be more independent. As a single parent, I do worry that I'm a little older, and you know, I'm not going to always be around. And I want to feel good that if something does happen to me, he's capable of taking care of himself. And being a part of this program has really made me feel really, really good about that.
What do you think has really been making the difference in all of this?
These always been my dreams, but now the more goals and I can see it right in front of me, and I have it right here. That's everything that I'm trying to do. So
I remember being young, and I went away to school, and I said, oh, I'm going to move out before you. I'm going to be driving before you. And it wasn't, you know, like to rub it in his face, but just more the little sister nagging kind of thing. And now, like, you know, I have problems, like, you know, just, you know, like with school loans and things, and he's so positive, like, you know, he's like, I'm going to finish, and you're going to finish, and, you know, we're going to make mommy proud. Like, it's just a different talk coming from him than it used to be.
And just in the last few months?
What I've picked up by doing the process this way, it's kind of starting at what is central to the person, what is most important to them in accomplishing in their life, and then getting the whole team to hear and listen to that person and spend a good amount of time doing that. And that way you can work backwards and develop the best plan of support and really help the person explore what their choices are, what their options are, in effort to get them one step closer to where they want to be. And
they help me
so
with
far,
the process step by step of finding the place if I need their help doing that. Visiting and budget wise, they help me like separate the different money and put together of my needs more than my wants.
We discussed the staffing that she would need, and discussed with Tiffany who she wanted to, if she wanted to interview and find her own staff. She happened to have met a great deal of staff that are already hired by the ARC that she liked. So we didn't have to go out of the system and rehire anyone, but we changed the whole job description. Tiffany sat down with our human resources and our recruiter and came up with what exactly she wanted her staff to do for her and what she needed, certain things that had to be required, and she talked with
I
the staff.
needed people that were going to be there when I needed them to be counted on and to take responsibility in doing things. And luckily, I was already around those people.
So, all of these efforts have centered on paying attention to the visions, dreams, hopes, and goals of individuals supported by provider agencies in Maryland. It's in pursuing these individual stories that the community of practice identifies the policies and practices that need to be transformed.
A really crucial piece that's helping us is that community of learning, and it is creating laboratories or learning laboratories that every piece of what we're doing, we have this partnership with providers, with service coordinators, with the state, with Neighbours Inc. We bring other partners in as we have hot issues, and it is this groundswell of learning together about things that we think can help perpetuate these person-directed services, as opposed to
always
having
been our philosophy at
and
Abilities Network, but having the backing of DDA and them saying it's okay to go ahead and do this, and you can use Melvin's funding for different things, not only for supported employment, but also, for some other things that he needs. And I just think that's what makes the difference, that it's okay, and it's not a project, it's the wave of the future, as Michael Chapman says.
But the systems that we've created over the years to do good things have had a way of binding people and circumstances and binding staff in their role. So what's happened with this is that it's really created kind of this permission again for people to dream again, to dream bigger, and for us to really, really listen and to ask different kinds of questions that help us to get at what people are really passionate about for their life. And as we've started to really listen and to respond to those, and people are starting to take back their lives again, it has created this shift both for the folks that we're supporting, that people are starting to watch each other, and there's a huge confidence level that's starting to happen, and people are much easier to say no and to expect something different and better from us, demand certain staff that they really want, and you can't just pull that staff from me. Also, staff are starting to really get excited about the fact that everything that we've talked about that they believed and all the reasons that they've come here to work, they're actually able to start to do. And we're asking them, and they're getting permission to challenge the system, to say, no, this isn't really working for the person, or no, this isn't what we promised them. We said that we would be able to help them.
some of the
do this.
significant bureaucratic processes, I think, really show the state's commitment to making up more than an initiative or a pilot or here we demonstrated this and now we're done. And one is the funding. There were significant issues about can these be waiver-supported funds? It's a little bit different than what we've done before in the way of funding services. we couldn't get a clear answer. It took us a year and a half to sort of work through a lot of barriers with it. So the community, a practice group got together, invited a national expert in, had all the partners here, and the next thing we knew, we had the answer and found that not only can we garner the federal dollars, but we can do it within a system that we already have in place, so it's not recreating. Some of the other
kind of maybe even knowing that we can do things differently than we are doing. You know, you kind of get stuck in this box that this is how it's being done, so this is how it has to continue to be done. And when you, I guess, challenge, hey, no, it doesn't have to be this way. Maybe there are other ways of doing things. You know, it opens the possibilities up for everybody.
Patti in particular, and then having the leadership that we have with Michael Chapman in coming to the table with this, as this is not a pilot, this is not an initiative, this is not going to demonstrate something and then stop in 2 years, nor do it. This was, we're all going to sit down together, we're going to face our regulation limitations, we're going to face our process limitations, and we're going to tackle all these barriers, the bad guys and who the good guys are.
Okay, well, I heard about this in 2 ways. One from a staff person I had who was attending a course in Delaware who heard about this project, and so very early on asked if we could have some presence and involvement. And knowing Cindy, I contacted her immediately and I said, tell me about this project. And she described how the vision of the communities of practice was starting and how she saw it evolving, and immediately that was something that I wanted for the individuals on the shore. Wanted that self-direction, quality, and the ability to have more creativity. Always a way that we're trying to find and better use the resources that we have available, and to carry that. It's been something that
absolutely overwhelming. We had our 2-year anniversary of meeting in the communities of practice, and when I looked at the meeting today, it's at least the same number of people that we started with 2 years ago. That to me, probably 20-some meetings later, 30-some meetings later is astronomical. We have people coming to us saying, I want to be part of this, I want to be part of this. In less than a year, we went from central region to 2 regions in the state, and now, exactly 2 years later, we're actually talking and developing community of practice across all 4 regions. As much as given it, we're willing to, pull us up by the bootstraps and make this work, no matter what it takes and what we have to change to do it.
It's just such an extraordinary journey because you actually are networking with people who you know they really care. They're going above and beyond their job. And as a parent, you don't really know that those people are out there a lot because you feel like you're in it by yourself for quite a long time. But I have a great bunch of people working for Melvin, and it really, really just touches our hearts.
Just knowing that when this is all over, I have something to say, no, that's mine.